Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Dolays and welcome back to Project Ozone 2. In the last episode, we were working on, Chaos Catalyst. Sorta. We were trying to get everything that was EMCable and trying to look at things that we can automate and whatnot. I still need to set up some recipes for stuff and that kind of stuff. So like the uranium rods, we can make these pretty easily. We just need to set up a recipe for them and draconium infused obsidian, easy enough. So I've got to set up some recipes for that stuff. I haven't done that yet. I will get on that. I still haven't fixed the runes either, so it's gonna be a little bit of time before we can do too much. But today, the plan of action is we're going to start automation. We're going to start automating the things that we can, that we need to. So, for example, from the Chaos Catalyst, we need all of these different wafers to be automated. We need the advanced PCBs. I'm not entirely sure how I want to automate these yet. We'll get to that later. And we need to get the advanced circuits. Those need to be automated. As you can see, I have a bunch of stuff in my inventory. We're gonna deal with that soon enough. And the other thing that I want to start working towards automation today is palladium crystals. So these are crystals from Mekanism stuff that we'll need the ore for, and we'll get that set up as well. So I decided where to put the stuff, and it is on another platform. So I have a platform down here. I figured this would be the best area. We're also going to be using a tesseract for power because why not? Makes the most sense. And one other thing I want to point out is this top floor, there's no torches, but it's perfectly lit up. So what I did is I hid glowstone around. I started doing it somewhat, so right there is the glowstone, because it's got the 14 light level. So the glowstone's right there, and I did that for all the corners, and I was going to do it like, you know, I was going to put everything kind of symmetrical. One thing I did do is all of these blocks are glowstone. And I did that down here as well. So this bridge right here is glowstone as well as here. That's going to be the plan of action for most of the stuff. Otherwise, it's just randomly thrown around. There's a piece of glowstone here, and there's like, there's one right there, and I just kind of randomly put them around wherever there needed to be one. There's a couple over here, even though these guys actually emit light. So a little bit extra, but whatever. Anyways, what we're gonna do is we're gonna get started with some automation stuff. We could have also put it over here, by the way. I considered doing that, but then I thought, you know what? The elven quartz is a little bit more annoying to make than the mana quartz, so let's just go ahead and make the mana quartz. The elven quartz, we have to activate this guy, and it's kind of tedious, but it's also fairly slow. But the mana quartz is pretty quick, so I went ahead and made this platform. It's currently lit by torches. I will go back over it and fix it with glowstone later. But I've run a line of dense cable over here, so we have channels we can work with, and we're gonna just get right into it. So there's not gonna be much rhyme or reason to where things are gonna be. We're just gonna put things where I want to put them. And the first thing we're gonna do is actually deal with the circuits so I can get them out of my inventory. So let's go from here, I guess. Hold on, we have 5, 4, 9. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know what, we could do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. Alright, so this is where we're going to set up these guys. So we need 4 item fabricators, and we're going to need 5 circuit fabricators. So both GalacticCraft, I almost said Galactic Quest, which is, I don't know, there's a movie called that, I think, and there's a mod pack called that, I believe, as well. So both GalacticCraft and QuantumFlux operate with the same sort of kind of input-output stuff. GalacticCraft is side input, bottom output, as well as QuantumFlux. So that's what we're going to do. And we're going to set these guys up over here. And I will eventually go over and put item facades and stuff like that, conduit facades rather, for making things look a little bit nice. But we're going to want circuit fabricators like so. The green dot is their energy input. And we'll get these guys set up with filters and all that kind of fun stuff. And then item fabricators, we're going to do, whoops, 1, 2, 3. Dang it. I've switched to using the old pickaxe we used to have, the manual pickaxe, because the world breaker is a little too powerful. Then we're going to have these guys like so. And we'll have something like, you know what? No, we're not going to put those on the top. We're going to put them on the back with the energy. So we will have to put a torch up here for now. Eventually I'll have glowstone like here, so it won't matter. But yeah, so this is going to be the basic kind of setup for all of these guys. Move that back one. We can put some energy conduits along like so. And up here we can put item conduits. We're going to need to get more item conduits, but we're going to do something like this. And I don't know if they'll fit in the back. Yeah, we're going to need more item conduits, but we'll find out soon enough. Let's grab more item. Whoa, I can spell. Let's get 2 stacks of those. It's good to have them on us. And anyways, I have, you know, a ton of things in here already. So I've been using that just to kind of store stuff. And I guess we're going to need at least one interface. I don't know if we're going to want this or not. We'll decide that later. We're going to want at least one interface for these guys. The circuits all are going to require similar things, so that part is at least easy. But let's get these guys set up. So this is going to be extract always active, and this will be insert. And what we can do is put these guys to different colors, and then that will make things a little bit easier. You know what, let's do, let's see, is there any overlap in what we're going to need? So the other thing we're going to be making down here is advanced circuits, which require 3 items. So it requires mystic quartz, silica, and paper. And silica is different than silicone, so we don't have to worry about those overlapping. So what we can do is probably just use one interface for all of this and call it a day. So we are going to need to get underneath. And you know what? Let's just break that. No, let's actually do that. Let's break that, put these guys here. And we could even put the interface right here. And then we'll put a chest on top of this. I want this to be going up. And then we can put some filters and stuff in here, some config file things, and it should be fine. So that will be an extract, and then we'll have a couple extracts on here for various things. In fact, this guy doesn't need to be there. We could put a filter for this, and then we can just do something like this, And that should work pretty well. We'll just need to get some filters and all that kind of stuff set up. So I'll tell you guys what, because that's going to be a little bit tedious. I'm actually going to break this episode up a lot because, well, we need to do a lot of different things. And it's going to be easier if we do it this way. So I'm going to come back once this is all set up, and I can kind of show it off. So be right back. So that didn't take too long, but I ran into a couple of problems. Two, in fact. So first problem was pretty easy to solve. These guys, the item fabricators, do not accept items from the top. It has to be one of the sides, and it's probably not the front side either. So I had to just rearrange some of the stuff back here. We have a green line that goes to the bottom ones, and then the brown line goes to these guys, and these all have filters. I just went with advanced filters because why not? Doesn't really matter much to me. And this is extracting only Mystic Quartz. I really should, since they're different colors, it doesn't matter much, but I really should put this and blacklist Mystic Quartz. And this is on a round robin, so it will, but they're both on round robin actually. So all of the extracts are on round robin, except for these. Do I need to do that? Probably not. But I could, let's do round robin. Should probably set them all to round robin. That way it doesn't fill up one. To try to mitigate that, when I set up the recipe for it, I went ahead and told it that to make 4 at a time. So hopefully that'll help. If this gets backed up or something, it's not that big of a deal. We'll deal with it as it comes. But the bigger problem that I had was the fact that I needed 6 of these circuit fabricators. There's six circuits we need, not 5. We need diamond, carbon, titanium, and then red, blue, and white gem wafers. They are all needed, and none of them have any sort of EMC, so I had to set them up. Now for these guys, I have some config files stuff so that the interface will keep certain items in stock and then extract it directly. The silicon and the redstone is for all of them, and then the repeaters are for the 3 gems, red, blue, and white, and then the filters are all set up, so everything should be fine. All we have to do is connect it to power and channels, and we're just going to do something like that. That should come online relatively soon, and then start filling this up with all of those items. And yep, then it should distribute them kind of evenly until these all fill up. So that's the idea. That'll take a little bit of time, and then we need power to the other. So I have a tesseract here, and now these guys should start working. They are. Everything should be getting power. These guys should not be working yet because we don't need them to, but that should be that. A little bit bigger than I was hoping for. We could have condensed this a little bit more, but meh, it's fine. I don't really care too much. This is the type of stuff that once we get it set up, we shouldn't have to come down here to do much of anything unless we need to set up more automation or something goes wrong. So it's not like we're going to see it and it's going to need to be pretty or anything like that. It's going to be ugly. I don't really care if it looks pretty. I like the platforms. The platforms are pretty. That's all I care about. So with that taken care of, we can get rid of the wafers and the advanced circuits. And the next thing we need to start working towards, and let's go ahead and get a stack of all of those. So if we, actually, let's get some extraction upgrades. Let's just do upgrades. Let's get 2 stacks of those. Just to make things go a little bit faster, specifically out of here. So that these guys fill up nice and quick. We need more silicon as well, so let's get the system full of that. We could make it, but meh. If we make any, it's going to immediately get taken away. So let's get some silicon. And don't need the dark stone, and then the atomic alloy will make plenty more. Alright, so with that taken care of, we're going to dump all of this in here. It's going to be great. Plenty of silicon for everything. Redstone, repeaters, and lamps. I'll need to get some more comparators and lamps. We're good on torches and repeaters. And then the gems. We will definitely need more white gems eventually, but we'll worry about that later. So let's get like a couple stacks of that. And a couple stacks of comparators. Cool. So what we're going to want is wafers. And we have basic and advanced. We're going to want blue gem times 64. Carbon times, let's just do 40, I guess. Diamond times 60. Red gems, do 70 of those. Titanium, we could probably get away with 50. And we don't have any more crafting stuff. So that's going to take some time. It shouldn't be too bad, but everything should be working. Everything should go where it belongs. And we shouldn't have any issues. So the nice thing about how we kind of set this up is that the silicon and redstone will always be full. And even though Red Robin is on, or Round Robin, not Red Robin. Red Robin's a restaurant. Round Robin is on. It's not that big of a deal because there's no like duplicates other than everything out of here, which we want to be Round Robin. So it's fine. It works great. So we'll work towards getting all of those wafers and get those placed as well as the advanced circuits. Don't need to make any advanced circuits right now just because we had a whole bunch of extras from testing and whatnot. But yeah, should be fine. Now let's get to the other thing that we want to do, which is the palladium crystals. Now this is what we're going to need for the chaos ingots. We need palladium crystals. So palladium crystals require a chemical crystallizer. So is this? Of course not. Alright, we're going to have to make some of these. And that's going to be a little bit annoying, but hopefully not too bad. We just need 2 gas tanks. Alright, so there is the chemical crystallizer. And then to get to that point, to get the crystallizer, we need clean palladium slurry. To get that, we need a chemical washer. And we're going to need water. So, chemical washer should not be too difficult. We just need another gas tank. I think I made one. And then there we go. I actually made 2. That's fine. So, and then we're going to want an infinite water source, which we should have access to. Infinite water. I think that will be good enough. Because that's what we have here. Yeah, those work just fine. We can pipe stuff out with the fluid conduits, which I should also get. Ender fluid conduits. Perfect. And okay. Then from there, the palladium crystal, we need palladium slurry. So that requires a chemical dissolution chamber. Chemical dissolution. Now we already have all this stuff, but for automation purposes, we're going to want all of these. So we're going to need another basic empty gas tank. and there's the chemical dissolution chamber. Now that gets the ore, and then it also requires sulfuric acid. So sulfuric acid we can get from a chemical infuser with water vapor and sulfur. So what was that again? Chemical infuser. Water vapor is a condensator. So chemical infuser, rotary condensator, whatever. And then the sulfur trioxide is another chemical infuser, so we need 2 of those. With sulfur dioxide, which we need a chemical oxidizer. And then oxygen, which we can get from an electrolytic separator. Electrolytic. Alright, so what was it that we needed 2 of again? So we need 2 chemical infusers. So let's make those. Alright, we're gonna need like 1, 2, 3, 4 chemical infuser times 2. Can't stack those. Interesting. Rotary concentrator. We need another basic gas tank. We're going to need a chemical oxidizer, which requires a dynamic tank, another basic gas tank, and a personalized chest. So chemical oxidizer, and then electrolytic separator, which I think all we need is the electrolytic core. So we need gold, osmium, and iron. Gold, 1 piece of gold, iron dust, and osmium dust. Just 2 of those. Alright, let's get these ground up, and then one and 2. Alright, so that should be everything we need. And then we're also going to need cables. So what are they called? No, not universal cables. Elite. What are they called? They're the gas lines. So elite. Logistical transporter, pressurized tubes. Pressurized tubes. So let's get a pressurized tube. We're just going to go with the elite because why not? And let's just get like a stack of those. And I'll put the other 2 stacks in there. Alright. Now we are going to have to do a lot of work. Okay. So this is going to be over here, and it's going to be a pretty major system. So let's go take a look at our old system. This is all the stuff we needed from before. And I transferred a lot of the stuff by hand because it's confusing sometimes what are gases and what is what's gases, what's a liquid. So we're gonna try. I think we're gonna do it along this side. So let's think about this real quick. Where we need to start? We're gonna need like 3 items. We're gonna need water. So we need to make sulfuric acid, and that's gonna require the 2 chemical infusers. So we're gonna need to make. It's gonna be actually probably easiest to just kind of do it in the center-ish, and then we'll just transfer things around with pipes and whatnot. So if we end with the how do I want to do this? This is tricky stuff. Let's work backwards. We have a chemical crystallizer right there. Now that is going to be getting an input, and we can adjust the inputs and all that kind of stuff. So it looks like it is a gas input. So the slurry, the slurry is a gas, I guess. That would kind of make sense, maybe. We'll leave a space open for things. So from there, we need the chemical washer, which is right here. Chemical washer. And with this guy, we're going to need to insert water to it. So let's see, does a fluid pipe connect there? That should be fine. All right, so chemical washer, and then a chemical dissolution chamber, which of course is the next one in my inventory. And this one is another that is going to require, it's going to require an input from items. And let's get the ender fluid stuff, and then it's going to require the sulfuric acid. So sulfuric acid, not that, comes from a chemical infuser. And let's put it 2 blocks away. And this will require both water and... Oh my gosh, I kind of hate having to go back through this. Unfortunately, there's not a good way to look up a lot of this stuff. So sulfuric acid is a gas. So it's going to need water vapor and sulfur trioxide. The water vapor is actually really easy because it's just a rotary condensator attached to the water. So that we can kind of probably put around here. So we'll not worry about that as much, but the other chemical infuser requires the other stuff. So you know what? This is going to be another one that I think I'm going to mess around with and kind of set up and figure out what everything does and how we want everything to be. I think for right now, leaving this at the end is probably going to be the best. So I'm going to get this set up, and we'll come back once that's done. Alright, so that wasn't too bad. One big thing to remember with all of this stuff is, if in doubt, it's probably a gas. The only liquid that we're actually transferring in this entire system is water. And so we're going to go backwards a little bit. And by the way, I just went mining with the digital miner. I went to Jupiter and got a bunch of palladium ore and some red gem ore, because why not? It's in the filter, so it's gonna pick it up. That's all there is to it. We're gonna put most of this stuff away, and we're gonna keep a stack of the ore because we're gonna need it. So most of the stuff is hooked up. We just need to get power and then conduit line as well. So let's do the same thing we did before. We might need to go get some more conduit line. In fact, we definitely do. So let's just bring it down right there. And I actually don't want this cable. I want one of these. Okay. So we're going to do this kind of strangely. We're not actually going to be setting up any recipes for this. This is going to be something that's just going to automatically produce as we get palladium ore. Actual palladium has a EMC, so we don't really care about that. So it's mostly just whatever ore we get is going to immediately be transferred into slurry. And then crystals at a certain point. So let's get like a handful of stacks of these. We're also going to need some energy conduits. Wouldn't be bad to have a full stack of those on our bar at all times. So Yeah, basically, we have everything set up, and it already started working a little bit. I think Mekanism will actually draw power from your battery. So my flux capacitor in my inventory actually powered up the machines, so they worked for a little bit. But let's work backwards. So, you know what? No, we're going to work forwards. So here is the infinite water source, and it's going to a couple different places. One thing to note, the rotary condensator cannot accept liquids from the top. So I had to move it around a little bit, and it's accepting liquids from the side. So this turns water into water vapor. Water vapor goes through this gas pipe to the chemical infuser, and as you can see, we already have a bit of water vapor. Now this guy is going to be receiving sulfur from our interface, which once we hook this up, will actually distribute the sulfur to where it needs to go. And I want to grab some conduit speed upgrades just because, why not? There's next to no reason not to. And then this will make sulfur, what is it? With sulfur dust, it makes sulfur dioxide, which goes into the chemical infuser. And we have electrolytic separator, which it's going to be dumping the excess hydrogen. We could just dump all of it, but I'm going to just dump the excess hydrogen. It's going to turn water into hydrogen and oxygen. Oxygen goes in here, and the sulfur dioxide with the oxygen makes sulfur trioxide, which then goes in here and mixes with the water vapor to make sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid goes in here. This has filter for palladium ore. Gets the palladium ore. That'll go there. And turns to slurry. And then it cleans the slurry. And then it crystallizes the slurry. So that's literally all there is to it. If we do two things. So let's go ahead and hook this up first. So once that activates a channel, we will start getting, you know, I could probably go ahead and just dump that in there. And immediately filled up both of these guys. So, no. So did it at least go in here? Yes, I tested that. So this probably needs to be on the side. So let's take that out and disable that. And get the item conduits. Do insert. And there we go. So it's immediately going to start working, and it's going to immediately make some it's going to immediately start making a little bit of stuff. Not quite enough, but if we give this some power, this is going to make sulfur dioxide, sulfur trioxide, and then sulfuric acid, which is going to make palladium slurry, and then we get missing textures, and then it's going to make palladium crystals, which are then put into the system. So that is just going to work. Now it's really loud over there, so we're going to get away from that. But it's just going to kind of work off camera while we're doing other things and whatnot, and it doesn't really matter. We'll just slowly get a trickle of palladium crystals as we kind of do other things. Now it will use up all of our palladium ore. That is an unfortunate thing. So when we need more crystals, we'll just have to go back and get more ore. So that is pretty much it for today. Wireless controller, a lot of this stuff is going to be pretty straightforward. I need to set up the recipes for everything else. And then the next thing we really need to focus on is probably the new Metacraft stuff. I have to decide how I want to do that. I'll be blunt. I'm not entirely sure how I want to manage this stuff. We can always, so this is currently on standby. We can always just get more and more stuff. Get plenty of plastic. And if we look at, let's just get back to the chaos stuff. If we look at the advanced PCBs, The printed circuit boards require empty PCBs, which is green plastic and iron. So I have different things I need to put into here. Honestly, I think the best way is going to just do that manually. Make a stack of these or whatever, however many way you want to make. Probably a stack of the catalysts, because that'll make plenty of the chaos ingots and go from there. So I will work with that between episodes. We're also going to need a ton of stuff in the last millennium, which we haven't looked at this today. Let's go here. Our cows are doing cow things. We can always set up more cows to get stuff like Erothium, but we're pretty good on that, actually. I should just make a ton of glowing magnalloy. That's what it's called. I had a second there that I couldn't remember what it was called. But things like... So all this stuff, we're going to eventually hook this up. And we have 21 infinity stars. So a lot of this is just going to be kind of waiting around for things to process. Something like a creative tank, which we need 6 ingots, chaos ingots to make, would greatly speed that up. Just a single creative tank would allow us to, for example, make infinite EMC. Just with the mob essence, we could, and just run that constantly, just run that off camera for a while. We could do stuff with the magnalloy. We could make, there's a lot of different liquids. So if we look at like just liquid whatever, we could make, I don't even know. I'm sure there's some, we could do liquid plastic, I think. And if not, we could, whoops, wrong one. We could do at the very least this, yeah, we could do liquid plastic and have infinite plastic. That is something we could easily do. So I think the plan is going to be this. If we want to get 6 chaos ingots, do we have any currently? We have 1. So we need 5. 5 chaos ingots, and we can make a creative tank. So with 5, is there anything else that we'd want to make? Power, I don't care about. We have plenty of power. This is steam generator. That's power as well. Don't care. The sword would be nice, but that's just a quest for right now. We'll worry about that later. The tank. Creative compressor, so this is pneumaticraft, but that also requires a creative tank, so not super important. And the only other thing is, what else can the chaos catalyst make? Infinite steam, don't care about that. Already made that, make more of those, don't care right now. Creative dimension builder, that would be kind of nice. That's where we're getting draconium shards. We will mess around with that later. That's not something that's super duper important. Oh my gosh. So let's see what else. Oops. Alright, there we go. Hitting the wrong buttons. That looks to be about it. And then solar panels, don't care about those. So like there's a lot of things left for us to make, but at the same time, not really. I think the creative tank is going to be the best thing for us to make immediately. So 5 of the chaos ingots requires 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 40 chaos catalysts. That is our goal. And then 2, 4, 6, 7. So 35 chaos. 35 chaotic cores. So can we make another half a stack of those? We are literally just missing magnalloy. Perfect. So that would be the plan. We're going to work towards getting enough stuff to make a creative infinite tank. Creative portable tank. And with that, we're going to rule the world. We're going to make some really cool stuff. Specifically, Mob Essence, I think, is what we'll start with. The Zephyrium or Erothium is not too big of a deal because we actually have plenty of that. So, yeah, that's going to be the plan. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Next time, hopefully, we'll get into some really fun stuff. At least that is the hope, the dream, and we'll go from there. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye!